Okay, so hi, this is Ankford. So if you guys haven't heard, there's been a new development in modding. In uh, in a weird kind of move, Steam has started to implement paid mods for Skyrim. Now, if you don't remember, back when Steam announced the workshop, Skyrim was also the first guys they implemented it with. So I'm guessing they just have some kind of deal with Bethesda in modding their games and workshopping with their games. Anyway, so basically what it means is that modders, the modding community, can now make mods for Skyrim and in the future other Steam games and take themselves paid for the mods. And that has made a lot of people very, very upset. And I can kind of see where they're coming from, but I'm also kind of disagreeing with the criticisms. So basically, the concern is that first off, well, when Bethesda makes a game, they're the ones taking the financial risk in making the game, which means that uh, if the game fails, well, that's all on Bethesda. But on mods, well, the game is already there, so mods should be a hobby thing. You shouldn't really take some people feel that if you take yourself paid for modding, it's like it's like selling finished puzzles or something, puzzle board games or something, with new picture on it. That's at least how I've heard it explained. And another concern is that some people will take previously free mods and then suddenly move them behind a paywall. Another concern is that that modders will leave other modding sites so they can go to Steam and get money for their work. And honestly, I feel like we've gotten into such a gray area because there are people who live off of Let's Playing now, and there are people who live off of reviewing video games now, and all this stuff with video games becoming like a platform for a platform for a platform. It's like standing on the shoulders of giants, and when you look at it like that, I mean, if you go to an artist who has made art out of soda bottles, should the money he gets for his art go to the soda company? That's a weird kind of discussion there. Even though he was the one that like made the art, there are some people who think that, well, the money should still go to the soda company because they're the ones who made the sodas from which or the soda bottles from which he made his art. Even if the soda bottles doesn't really have as big of a role or isn't in their original form. But whatever, really. I feel like we live in a time where you can get paid for simply building upon someone else's work, like modding cars. I mean, people have been modding cars for ages and taking themselves paid for it. There are entire workshops that only do car mods and live off of that. And I feel like, sure, you should be able to do that with video games. Why not? And I mean, there's gonna be a sort of standard that or I would at least, if I pay for a mod, I'm going to expect a sort of standard from the mod. I'm going to expect that the mod is finished. I'm going to expect that the mod does more than just change the color or something. It's gonna be a very involved mod to the point that you could almost call it DLC or an expansion pack before I would pay for it. And I think what we're going to see is people are only going to pay for mods where they feel like the price is worth it. I mean, why would you pay for a mod that doesn't really do anything, right? Now there's actually already been a case of a mod that's been taken down because, of course, when something like this happens, the scam artists show up, and someone has actually already taken a mod which was previously free and then put it behind a paywall on Steam. But the difference is, here, it's not the same guy. This is not the person who originally made the mod. I'm going to link to that article in the description of this video. And yeah, that's how the free market works, isn't it? We live in a free market. That's one of the core parts of Western civilization and economy. And I feel like, hey, if people don't want this stuff, if they feel like they're not paying for anything worth paying for, they're gonna go somewhere else. I mean, modders are going to be kept on their toes to make quality material. Otherwise, like, people will leave. That's just how it is. Like, that's I believe John Smith called it the invisible hand. Anyway, I know I don't usually do this commentary on new stuff, but what are your opinion on this? Because I might be entirely wrong. I might be too easy on Valve and Bethesda on this, but still, feel like some people have. Oh, I shouldn't have mentioned that. Some people have criticized Valve and Bethesda for taking a cut of the mod. Like, the modder will get 25%, and the remaining 75% will be cut up and distributed between Bethesda and Valve. And some people have said, well, Valve and Bethesda should just do that for free. I don't really feel like that should be the case. I mean, Bethesda made the original game, and Valve are the distributors of the content. And they have this entire platform that you're doing it for. Of course, they're going to take a cut. Anything else is bad business sense, really. But yeah, I feel like people this is like horse armor back in 2006. This is going to have a lot of really poor cases to begin with, and then I think gradually people will be less concerned, and people will learn that it's maybe not as bad as they thought it was, or something like that. Or it may entirely crash and fail, and I will be driven through the streets with tar and feathers. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's my opinion on the matter.